Is the Lost Zone box the new best deck in format? Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And so today I just want to talk about the Lost Box deck post-rotation here. We are starting to have some results of post-rotation gameplay, and Lost Box seems to be a very popular choice at the very least. Very least a popular choice, but possibly the new best deck. The Lost Box deck generally revolves around the comfy engine of flower selecting. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's in the active spot, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, put the other card in the Lost Zone. And you use that to go through your deck very quickly by getting a few comfies out and switching between them every turn to use flower selecting multiple times. You have other cards that help support this kind of draw, such as Culver's Experiment, where you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand and 2 into the Lost Zone. Pretty nifty, right? And then you have cards that work off of cards being in the Lost Zone. First off, we have Cramor It, where if you have 4 cards or more in the Lost Zone, ignore all energy costs in this Pokemon's attack costs. So you can do 110 damage for 0 energy, and, you know, Cramor It is pretty good for that. And then you have what else is there? Mirage Gate. Mirage Gate is a fantastic one, and really what brings the box into Lost Box. Mirage Gate, you can only use this card if you have 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, then shuffle your deck. So clearly you can use Mirage Gate to power up several different types of Pokemon, and you gotta play multiple types because Mirage Gate needs multiple types of energy to select to accelerate. But I think we all know where this is going. If you saw yesterday's game, maybe you saw this video coming, although I recorded that video like a week ago. So, we are going to go over Sableye here. Sableye, for a single Psychic Energy, can do Lost Mine. You can use this attack only if you have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Put 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So first off, refer to my video about damage versus damage counters and how those are different things. And then second, think of any counters we might have for Sableye. The big one you might think of is Big Parasol. I gotta change all my filters and everything for this one and jump to trainers. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. And let's go to Big Parasol. Big Parasol is a tool that you can attach to your active Pokemon, as long as the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, hence why you have to attach it to the active. Prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon. So damage counters is not damage, it is an effect of an attack, so it can block that. However, if you look closely, you can see the deregulation mark there, which means Big Parasol has rotated. So how do we protect against Sableye? Big Parasol was how we did it before. There's currently, as far as I know, only one way to protect yourself from Lost Mine Sableye, and that is Espeon. There it is. VMAX. Here we go. With the Solar Reventilation ability, prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon that have energy attached. So they need to have energy attached. But Sableye will be blocked by Espeon VMAX's ability, which is pretty nifty, right? Yeah, Sableye is currently owning a lot of decks. Any deck that revolves around evolving up small basics is in danger due to Sableye. As you saw in yesterday's game, I had a bunch of mouse holds. They have 70 HP, and Lost Mine, once you start getting damage placed in places, Lost Mine can start taking multiple KOs per attack, which is frightening for any evolving deck out there. If you have a tiny basic 60 HP Ralts, Sableye can knock out 2 of them in one attack by dropping 6 damage counters on one and 6 damage counters on the other, knocking out 2 60 HP Pokemon like they're nothing. And so Sableye is a very powerful card in this Lost Box sort of deck. Also, in this version of Lost Box, we can see Drapion V in there for the Mew matchup, but there's other reasons. Mirage Gate can power up Drapion V in one turn. You just play 2 Mirage Gates, you accelerate 4 energy onto Drapion, and you're doing 190, which is pretty good. And then we have Raikou V, which of course for that lightning typing, so it can attack the Lugia VStars and try to gain advantage that way. We have Zamazenta, which is a pretty powerful Pokemon, having 130 HP, but an ability that means it takes 30 less, so basically 160 HP. And then the Retaliate attack, which can do 220 damage if one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. So 220 is not bad either. We've got Snorlax, prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon, just this Pokemon in particular, but that 180 HP, or 180 damage is really what is focused here on the Snorlax, because you're playing so many switch cards for the Comfey, you can get that in and out of the active to remove the sleep condition that it kind of puts on itself after that attack. Of course, as not to be outshone by Radiant Greninja. Such a powerful, such an amazing card in this format. Again, having an attack that can hit multiple Pokemon, just like the Sableye, very dangerous card if you are trying to evolve Pokemon. Holy cow. I don't know why I struggled so much. And so this all comes in to make a very powerful collection of cards that seems really popular currently, especially at the EUIC, European International Championships, that are currently happening this weekend. I didn't get to watch all day. I had to work, but I saw quite a few matches, and I quickly skimmed through the video to see what kind of decks people were playing. And Lost Box does seem like a very popular deck. Right here on the other screen, I've got Pokestats Live, Pokestats.live tournaments, looking at the standings of the European International Championships. Now, I do not know the players, and I do not know their exact deck list, but I'm seeing Giratina in the higher standings here. Now, there is a popular Giratina variant that is dependent on Arceus with Giratina versus Lost Box with Giratina VStar. I don't know what version these are. All I see is Giratina. That's it. Not giving me a lot of information here. But we're seeing that. We're seeing Gardevoir making some pretty high rankings here. Miraidon making pretty high rankings. Arceus, Hisuian Gudra VStar making some high listings here. More Lugias, more Gardevoirs, all that stuff. And then we do see at number 18 a Comfey, image of a Comfey. I assume that is Lost Box, because Comfey is kind of the star of that. So with Hisuian Gudra V and the Giratinas, I assume some of those are going to be Lost Zone engines. And here we have Lost Box. So we see a lot of this stuff just throughout the format, all revolving around the Comfey. And if you are playing a Lost Zone engine, you might as well throw in maybe a couple of Sableye with some Psychic Energy, or Cramorant to get that free attack, and that kind of stuff. So that all kind of brings me to my point of, is Lost Box the best deck in the format? And right now, I gotta say, it's a powerful deck. It is a great deck. I don't think it's the best deck in format. If we jump to some actual results that we have. Now, this is going off of a Japanese tournament here. Lost Zone Box actually did make pretty high markings here, but we still see a lot of Lugia Archeops in the top 8, top 10, wherever you want to look at. Lost Box doesn't look to be dominating the format like we've seen decks do in the past. Like Lugia VStar kind of did during the Silver Tempest and Crown Zenith formats. We're not really seeing that with Lost Box in these Japanese results. Obviously, you know, we'll have to wait and see as more decks or more tournaments are completed and see the results of those to make any definitive remarks. But even the standings from the European International Championship is not making me think that Lost Box is this powerful deck. Again, the first definitive Lost Box deck that I'm seeing here is currently at 18, which is still high. Still very high. Still, congratulations to that player. Congratulations to all these players I'm talking about right now. All of them are doing phenomenally well. No way I'm going to do that well at Portland Regionals. I'm expecting to lose 3 games and drop, but we'll see. I'm hopeful that I will get at least 1 victory. Maybe we'll get a couple more. I don't know. I just want to have fun. Man, I hope you guys enjoy me being stupid. But Lost Box is definitely a deck that you have to watch out for, you know? A lot of decks aren't really prepared to come against Lost Box, especially Lost Box that gets rolling pretty quick. That always shocks me, how fast Lost Box can be, especially now in the post-rotation era where we don't have Scoop Up Net to help you reuse comfies in one turn. I thought the deck was going to slow down a lot, and it still has some slow starts, but once it gets moving, it really shows just how powerful this engine is and how fast this deck can be and how just dominating it can be in certain circumstances. And I think those certain circumstances are where the weaknesses really shine of, can this Lost Box do enough to keep up with the meta with all these tiny Pokemon? It's going to be interesting to see that moving forward. But I want to hear your opinions on Lost Box. Is Lost Box the best deck in the format, or is it just a very good deck? And we're seeing a lot of variations, some with Giratina, some with Goodra, some with just a variety of Pokemon. I understand that the Giratina and Goodra ones aren't technically boxes if they're relying on that Pokemon, but anyway, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, and join the Discord so we can have more one-on-one interactions. And I'm kind of looking to record some matches with people in the Discord and have that kind of fill out the week that I'll be gone after Portland Regionals, because I got family near there and I'm going to be visiting them for a week, so I need videos for that week so that, you know, you guys won't get bored. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep playing Jank.